What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to The Breakdown, the series where I analyze gameplay to help you improve. In today's episode, we're actually going to be analyzing an exceptional gameplay for once, and this is from Revamp Gaming on Solar. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so this episode of The Breakdown is going to be a little bit different than what we're used to. First off, like I said, this is going to be an exceptional gameplay, whereas I typically try to analyze non-exceptional gameplay. And second, this is going to be a little bit more of a general topical kind of breakdown, where I want to talk about, in general, the playstyle, what I feel is wrong with this person's gameplay style, and what he did right as well. We will be analyzing situations on what he did right. Obviously, he did something right. He ended up going 73-7 on this map in this game, but his team ended up losing. So there are definitely some things that I feel he could have done better to help his team win the game, rather than just him racking up a great score. So having said all that, I want to have a disclaimer at the beginning of the video here. I am in no way, even though I may have some negative comments on this gameplay, I'm in no way saying this is a bad gameplay, and I'm in no way saying that the loss was entirely this person's fault. It's not his fault that he lost the game. His teammates were definitely outmatched by the enemy team, and he did quite good, but there are a lot of things he could have done as a strong player that I feel like could have contributed more to winning the game. And this brings me to the topic of effective slaying versus Killwhoring. In this gameplay, there's kind of a fine line between that effective slaying and the Killwhoring. So effective slaying means you're not necessarily throwing your body on the flag all game, but you're killing the enemies, you're keeping them away from the objective, and you're ensuring that your teammates are able to capture and hold objectives. On the other end of that, there's Killwhoring, which is essentially getting objectively insignificant kills. So you're getting kills in places that don't really help your team win. It doesn't really matter as far as the outcome of the game, the kills that you're getting. So throughout this gameplay, not every kill that he gets is objectively insignificant. For instance, right here, he's actually pushing up towards the B flag, and he's killing enemies that are directly on the B flag, and he's being very effective right here. But then you see other situations where he's hanging back in his own spawn, when they only hold one flag. He's not on a streak or anything, like right here for instance in the gameplay. They only hold the C flag, and he's not pushing to get map control at the B flag right now. He's kind of laying back, hanging back, and he shouldn't be doing this. As the solid player on the team, or the best player on the team, it should be his job to be pushing up for map control and slaying the enemy team effectively. That means pushing them back into their spawn and making it easier for your teammates to capture the B flag. Instead, he's just kind of hanging back around the C flag, letting the enemies come to him and racking up a few kills to get towards his kill streaks. This isn't effectively helping him win the game. Now, he does eventually push up, and he is now in a good position to slay effectively rather than Killwhore. So, like I said, there's a little bit of both throughout this gameplay, and just keep an eye out as the gameplay goes through. Keep an eye out and really think to yourself, is he helping the objective right now, or is he being a little bit selfish? Is he on his own, getting kills just for his own purpose that aren't really going to be helping the team out? There's also the argument that even though he is getting these insignificant kills, he's earning streaks, which could be significant towards the outcome of the game. That is something that I totally agree with. But at the same time, you can do a whole lot more with your gun than you can with your score streaks. So the first situation I want to point out that shows him being a little bit on the selfish side and not helping too much as far as the objective goes, even though it might look like it might be a little bit confusing to some of you when I say this, is right here. He lays down right in this position here. Now, he does have a clear line of sight on the B flag. You might think that's a great thing, but they don't hold the B flag, and his teammates, he's relying on his teammates to go and capture the B flag. From this position, he is not effectively keeping his teammates alive. You can see his teammates both drop like flies there because he's not able to get an effective line of sight, and he's not able to get proper cutoffs to prevent his enemies from actually getting to that B flag. He doesn't actually see the enemies until it's too late. So that was improper positioning, and he would have been much better off finding a position of advantage that was able to get proper cutoffs to keep his teammates alive. Now, one thing I really do like with his gameplay, as much as you might hear me say he's being selfish and he's not getting proper cutoffs and stuff, you can tell he actually wants to win the game. There are several times where he is jumping on the B flag, or he is actually getting those proper cutoffs, and you might not see all of them because that's what he's doing right, and that's usually not what this series is about. It's harder to point out what he's doing right because he's doing it most of the time. and it's just harder to see exactly what they're doing right. But you'll see, he does care about the objective, he is trying to win, but there's a few situations where he's either being a little bit on the selfish side on purpose, or maybe he just doesn't actually know where the most effective positioning should be. So he does actually earn the vicious in this gameplay because his streaks are absolutely doing work. He got some crazy bombing runs and his warbirds are just going off because the enemies don't seem to be using blind eye. Right here is a mistake though. And this is a mistake that possibly costs him the game, or at least costs him several points in the game. He just respawned there, the enemy just started taking B, and he knew there was an enemy on C that just killed him. Instead of going to protect B, which is more important in this particular situation since it's a linear map and it's all about holding one home flag as well as the B flag, instead of pushing for that easy defend on B, it likely would have been a very easy kill, killing the guy on B. He went for that revenge kill at C. Now look what happened to them. They're holding C, but they've lost B and A. Now they have no map control and they're losing points. If he would have just defended B and then also tried to defend A and stayed between B and A or between B and C and keep the enemies in the C flag area, he would have been much better off, and he would have been in the situation that his enemies currently have him and his team trapped in. It was all something that was completely within his control, and it would have been a very simple decision. Once again, just skipping ahead a little bit, they did end up getting control of the B flag, which is actually entirely his teammates that did that. It wasn't him at all, by the way. They did get control of the B flag, and right here he starts losing the B flag. Now, it could just be a lack of awareness. Maybe he didn't hear it. I noticed, I'm pretty sure he has his announcer's voice turned off, so nobody was saying losing B. So maybe he just didn't hear or didn't see on the minimap that he was losing B. But it was very obvious to me that he was losing B, and he didn't make any effort whatsoever to go and get the defend at B. He just kept going the way he was going. And again, from that angle, it's pretty easy to defend the V flag because the popular capture spot that people use where they lay down next to that piece of cover, you can just shoot them in the back from there. And instead of trying to go for that, he didn't really react to it whatsoever, and they lost the B flag. So again, there was another situation where he could have held that 2 cap, but instead, he lost the flag, and now his teammates are kind of screwed over again. So that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of The Breakdown. I really hope this doesn't come across as hateful or anything like that, or trying to talk down to this person about their gameplay. This was an excellent gameplay, and not everyone can get 70 kills in a game and less than 10 deaths. But I did want to point out for the viewers and for yourself, all of the little tiny things, it's more big picture type stuff that you could have done to potentially win the game in this scenario, rather than just rack up that high score. So no hate intended here. You're an excellent player. You played great. I don't blame the loss entirely on you, but there are some things you could have done to improve. So if you'd like one of your gameplays analyzed in a future episode of The Breakdown, all you have to do is upload a video to YouTube, set it to unlisted, and then send it to the email address listed below. Keep in mind, I typically look for the non-exceptional gameplay so I can point out all of the little things that you did wrong. Whereas gameplays like this, the more exceptional ones, I have to go a little bit more general and big picture with it because they've already got the gun skill down. They've already know how to handle gunfights and handle situations properly. So there's really not a whole lot I can tell to help them improve in those sorts of situations. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.